Pro Boxing Fans with Spencer Brown. I was
How are you,
wondering
mate?
where you were.
Yeah,
How are
well, I
you?
was just hiding in the back there. I was in one of the pyramids. Yeah.
How's Egypt been so far for you?
Chaos, this place. If
Yep.
nobody's been here before, I mean, if you want to come to a chaotic place that's got one of the biggest histories of the world and got the seventh wonder of the world, come here. It's crazy. And look at this museum we're walking in. I've never seen anything like it.
People where we are.
It's crazy. Just show them some of the statues that are here. And they're not moody ones, they're real.
It's going to be an incredible setting, and you've got Hamzah Sheeraz
Yeah.
fighing for the world title. This is a big deal.
Well,
Another British
let's
world
get this
champion.
right. He's promoted by Frank Warren and George Warren, Queensbury. I manage him with another guy called Adil. And, you know, I've got to take my hands off to Frank Warren and to Turki Al-Sheikh and to Dr. Khan because they provide the money. Frank got the match. And George, they worked very hard at it. And without them, this would never have happened. And you've got to remember they've Hamzah Sheeraz has been with them since day dot. You know, we've all had ups and downs, but you know, this was a masterclass from Frank Warren to get this fight. A masterclass. To get to his level, it'd take you 100 years. He's just a master, and he's a fantastic guy to work with. Same as Eddie. Eddie's great to work with, and you know, with Zuffa coming along, I think they've joined forces a little bit. You know, and I think they have to because they're going up against the conglomerate here. Fair play, Frank. Well done. Getting this fight because Hamzah Sheeraz Sunday morning will be the champion of the world.
Is, to your understanding, Zuffa promoting Fury Joshua? Eddie and Frank have said that's not the case.
Well, you better listen to them because they're the governors, aren't they?
Well, you must have seen the contract, no?
Of course I have. But
What does it say?
how much money you got in your pocket? No. You know, from what I've seen, it's listen to Eddie and listen to Frank. They're telling you what's there. That's what I've seen. And unless there's a huge change or maybe there's something we don't know. I don't know, but maybe there's something. But you know, they don't get things wrong. And Turkey and Seller particularly, and Ring Magazine, they don't get many things wrong either. They're pretty clever in what they do, and they've learnt this business over 3 years, and they're very accomplished at what they do now.
Tyson's coming back against Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Yeah, that'll be the battle of the sausages.
What are they fighting for?
The International Sausage Award. It's a Frankfurter, mayonnaise, ketchup, and onions.
Sounds like an interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but there's no truth to that,
Some
right?
gherkins as well involved. Yeah.
That's not serious, right?
Well, it's boxing. Anything serious these days. Look, we're all going to witness tomorrow.
Yeah.
Look what we've witnessed before. Jake Paul, a YouTuber, who fights Anthony Joshua and goes 6 rounds. I mean, when you first see Jake Paul, you'd have thought it was just what we just said. It's impossible. But look what he done with himself, Jake Paul. I think that's one of the biggest achievements in boxing, me. I think Fabio Wardley and Jake Paul are some of the biggest achievements in boxing, what they've done.
Last one you mentioned 2 seconds out about Andy Ruiz, Jarrell Miller, 2 guys that you're possibly looking at for Tyson.
Yeah, in future, you know, Tyson will fight anybody, but he's mentioned Jarrell Miller. He'd love to fight Jarrell Miller in America. What a huge fight
In August, that sort of time, before the Joshua fight.
He wanted that, but I don't think that's going to happen now. I think it's a virtual impossibility. We're running out of time,
Okay.
so we need to get something. We need to get something announced pretty quickly. We're looking at some opponents. Tyson keeps probably changed his mind, and we don't want anything to happen to ruin a big event. But
Yeah.
he's very confident at the moment, Tyson. Very, he's happy, he's confident, and he's talking about going into boxing until he's 40. So we might get a couple more years of Gypsy King, but I mean, I don't know how many times you can go back to the well. John Fury said it once, he'll never stop. because it's an addiction. It's probably not a healthy addiction, but he's addicted to boxing, Tyson. And without that competition, you know, Tyson's not so happy. He's not such a happy man.
Is Ruiz too risky before Joshua? Before Joshua.
Well, I don't think he's that. I think Andy's in. I don't think he's even in camp at the moment.
Right.
So him to hurry and get into a camp and do whatever he's got to do, I don't think it's a possibility. And Jarrell's off around Europe sightseeing with his wife, which he deserves it because he's had a what would you call it? A very tumultuous few months. He's been really under the cosh. He's come through and fair play to him, you know.
So are you talking to certain names at the moment?
Yeah, we're talking to a few names, yeah. We're talking to a few names. We'd like an unbeaten, or maybe we want someone with a very good record. We're looking at a better opponent than Anthony Joshua's got.
Yeah, what do you think of that fight with Prenga?
Oh, well, great fight, isn't it? Well, Anthony Joshua is like Tyson. He's something to behold, isn't he? We have not, you know, he kept boxing up. Tyson went over and done what they said was the impossible feat, beating Klitschko. And Anthony Joshua came along and brought a lot of the boxing back to the fans, didn't he? You know, we had big nights. We went back to stadiums. Eddie done an unbelievable job. Frank done an unbelievable job. You know, we're blessed with great promoters in this country. I mean, look at America. It went to shit. If Turkey Al-Sheikh hadn't stepped in on American boxing, it'd be floating down the river now. Honestly, that's what I believe. I truly believe that. I think Turkey Al-Sheikh has single-handedly brought boxing back in America, and it's all of a sudden fashion again. Terence Crawford, unbelievable. Man breezes through fights. We got some new heavyweights that are coming through. Torres, which is, you know, we're going to see him at the weekend. We'll see how good he is. Yep. You know, he's got Frank Sanchez, a great fighter, Frank Sanchez, who unfortunately bumped in to one of the best fighters on the planet, Ajit Kabayel.
Who's sick next?
Oh, we pray.
That'll be huge in Germany. Huge.
It'll sell 100,000 in Germany. Then maybe we see Tyson against Ajit.
Yeah.
If that doesn't happen, maybe we see Daniel Dupois against Ajit. All unbelievable fights, all monstrous sellers. You know.
Huge.
You know, it's good times. Let the good times roll. Germany hasn't had anything like this for a long time. And Ajit Kabayel, he's so strong. Nothing phases him. And do you know who told me about Ajit Kabayel?
Nope.
Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury was there. So Ajit, he said, go and get Ajit Kabayel and bring him into the light, and we did. And look at him now. It's unbelievable. And everybody they put in front of him, he destroyed them.
Yeah. You're right with that. Spencer, appreciate your time as always.
Thank you, mate.